of the championships and the first of the men's competitions. The men's 55 kilo championship of Europe, with 6 of the 8 men involved this afternoon having met 2 years ago in the 2019 championships in Batumi. The big name absentee, the Italian Mirko Scarantino, who won this title 2 years ago in Georgia with a total of 261 kilos. Now, they're the body weights. They're not particularly significant, other than the fact that you have to be inside the limit of 55 kilos. And you can see Mohamed Akaya of Turkey right on the limit at 55 kilos there. So those are the contestants. Sahin of Turkey, the bronze medalist. And let's meet them now. So this is Mohamed Sahin. He was getting a European medal as far back as 2013, a European junior medal at 56 kilos. This is the man who's just made the weight limit. Mohamed Akaya, also of Turkey, double represented the Turkish athletes. Voronovsky, as you can see, under 23 European champion, but also in 2016 and 27 European junior champion. And Jansu, in the same years here, was the European youth champion. At the early stage of the warm-up, Christian Luca, who was 4th 2 years ago in the Europeans. And representing Moldova, Daniel Lungu. Second in the European juniors also in 2018. One of the new men in here, first time Georgi Dokvadze of Georgia. And the man who represented Bulgaria 2 years ago also represents them this year, the silver medalist behind Mirko Scarantino, and it's Angel Rusev of Bulgaria, the last of our 8. This is the warm-up room, and alongside myself, David Goldstrom, Mikaela Breeze, of course, Commonwealth Games champion, former European medalist. Mikaela, how are you?
Very good, thank you, David. And yourself?
Yeah, excellent. As you gather, everybody, we're a little remote from the competition, but this is the B group, and the man who produced the best performances is this young Czech, František Polak, and 97 kilos on the bar for his B group attempt. In the snatch. As you can see, got it at the 3rd attempt. Now, Mikaela, here's the clean and jerk, 127 kilos on the bar.
That's right, what's most impressive here is he went 3 from 3, 119, 124, and this for a 127, giving a 224 total, and to take the lead after the A group, after the B group. We expect him to be surpassed by the lifters that are about to come. This was his 3rd attempt. Lovely and solid overhead, in control from start to finish.
So not a bad little sequence, gave him a total of 224, but as Mikaela just said, that total will be surpassed surely by the athletes in the A group. Well, this is not an Olympic category, it's a stepping stone category, the 55 kilos. And there in purple on the right of your screen, you can see the announced weights. And what's really interesting about this category is that yet again, we've got a very, very tight spread. The spread on this 55 kilos, this relates to the totals that they've entered, which is just 16 kilos. And there you can see the standard, should be a D, but it's a T, but we'll forgive them for that. And you can see those are actually the 49 kilo weights, so not quite correct on that, because by my recognition, the standards have yet to be set. So just to get that right for you in a moment, the standards for the men's 55. These were created back in October of 2018 when the categories changed. So the snatch target is 133. the clean and jerk 159, and the total 291. So fairly demanding, but here we go with the first of our 8 lifters. By the way, 34 countries represented in the men's division, 155 lifters. Given COVID-19, really good turnout. So Muhammed Akaya, the first of the 2 Turkish lifters. First attempt, 98 kilos. Always good to start with a good lift.
Of course, 99, please.
Yeah, very impressive. Nice and solid under the bar. But remember, these lifters are performing in front of an empty auditorium. There's nobody here spectating. It's a very empty atmosphere. So these lifters now have to create that atmosphere, and that is tough, going onto a big platform. But here you can see really solid underneath the bar. And Akaya will be very, very pleased with that opening lift.
100 kilograms on the bar, please.
So the bar straight up to 100 kilos. Bogdan Mokranowski, you can hear the speaker from Poland, very much part of the fabric of the European Weightlifting Federation. And Valentin Jansu now, third in the European Junior Championships 2 seasons ago, and 6th in the Senior Championships in 2019 in Georgia. Jansu got a personal best in the snatch at 106 kilos, and that's a fair opener.
That's probably one of the most impressive openers we've seen yet in this championships. No messing, really dynamic. Fair to say those peaches are firing today. Powerful glutes, powerful legs, really explodes upwards, catches the bar nice and high. You see here he's certainly not into a deep squat like we'll see some lifters. Very, very solid.
Yeah, nice lift to start with, so nips into the early lead. Remember, all positions are determined by who gets to the highest level or the highest weight first. So just looking at some of these opening weights, quite a cluster around about 105, 106, but Muhammed Akaya, second attempt at 103. Christian Luca of Romania posted 103 for his first attempt.
103 kilograms, please.
So just a little time. You can see the loaders with gloves, they clean the bar. Obviously this is COVID-19 conditions. Everybody wearing masks, bar the lifter, or should be. The hall cleaned and ventilated between each session. So Luca onto the stage. At his best, 111 kilos, so this is a respectable start. But remember, these boys have been off the stage for more than a year. And another good start, Michaela.
This is lovely to see. 3 from 3. I hope this isn't commentator's fate. But there, Luca really executing on his opening lifts. Looks very, very confident. You can see here quite a tall stature for this category. The shorter the lifter, the less distance the bar has to travel, but here quite tall, quite rangy. And remember, these guys are sub 55 kilos in body weight. Easy lifting, really confident as well.
Yeah, to be fair, Michaela, I would think a lot of these men will start well within their compass. In other words, within a weight that they're confident they can lift. That's often the way with the first attempt.
Do you think
when
so?
We get to the second and thirds that we really get interested.
I think you're right there. The second and thirds is where we really start to push limits. But some of these lifters, bearing in mind the importance, qualification for Olympics and points, they're going to be pushing themselves. So it wouldn't surprise me some lifters coming out on close to top weights.
So 104 kilos on the bar for Akaya. Already a personal best attempt.
Oh, can he save that? No.
Yeah, you can't duck walk under the bar, can you?
Well, it is possible, but it just seemed like he never got enough upward momentum on the bar there, cut it short, and an attempt at duck walking is not recommended for those of you watching back home.
He's got another go, and there's every chance he's going to get it. Let's hope he does.
And just look here, you see it's a heavy weight, it hits him hard. The ability to do that is quite incredible. That is a great example of why weightlifters need to be physically conditioned, not just for lifting, but in case of a wobble. If we have a wobble, if we have a stagger, you need to be safe under the bar. And that's why these lifters do a lot of conditioning, core work as well, aside from their main exercises.
It's also why, Michaela, I always had the greatest respect for you and your fellow lifters, just to put that sort of weight, which is almost twice body weight, over your head. You've got to have some guts to do that.
Or stupidity, I'm not sure, whichever way you want to look at it.
No, well, I wouldn't. If I referred to you in that way, you'd smack me.
You're too right, I would, if you were close by. David, do you know what? All the years you've been involved in commentating for weightlifting, I've still yet to give you a lesson.
Well, it depends what the lesson's in, doesn't it? Let's focus. Let's focus on Georgia, shall we? Or Moldova.
Let me know if you want to see David under a weightlifting bar.
It's Georgi Dokvadze. Georgi, under 23 silver medalist 2 years ago, and now just 23, so quite possibly a progressive lifter. Georgia with a very strong weightlifting regime. Kakashvili's the great Olympic champion, the man who drives Georgian weightlifting. And of course, they're famous for their snatchers, aren't they? The Georgians, the likes of Georgi Azanidze, one of their greats.
Well, Dokvanidze there just sneaking underneath the bar. I'd like to see that in slow-mo to see if he actually got extension at the knee and hip. Barely got the bar high enough and he was under it. Ooh, only just. Do you know what? He's going to have to find some more legs if he wants a few more kilos, that's for sure.
But 105 kilos is the new target, and Angel Rusev, silver medalist 2 years ago. Well, that's not the start.
I don't know if this is just Angel Rusev's style or whether he came out onto that platform and rushed the lift. To me, didn't seem to set the position at all, just yanked at it. Needs more legs in it to get more upward float before receiving at arm's length, and that wasn't there.
Yeah, Angel, really one of the most experienced men in today's competition, albeit that, you know, he's 19, but he's been very, very competitive over the years. So 105 kilos on the bar. Valentin Jansu.
And again, the same weight, 105.
So Jansu gets the 105.
Appears to be limping as he's coming off the platform, walking rather gingerly. I know weightlifters generally don't move fast unless they're dropping under a weightlifting bar, and that he certainly did.
Jansu up into second place because he got to 105 kilos, but only behind Dokvadze. And now Rusev needs to make this. That's much better. A word in the ear, and it's a bit of frustration that he didn't do that the first time, because look how easy he made that, Michaela.
Yeah, it looks comfortable. It always does when a skillful athlete performs skillfully. It's going to look easy. I wouldn't say that was easy, though. I don't know how many more kilos are there, but he really did move at speed. Corrected the errors from the first attempt, but it's a wasted lift, that first one.
Yeah, he's got a personal best of 110. Now, had he not missed that first lift, he could have made the stepping stones a little bit easier to try and match up to that. Still, Muhammad Sahin of Turkey to start, and Dimitro Voronovsky of the Ukraine, and Daniel Lungu of Moldova. All three of them yet to emerge from the warm-up room, where you can see the little cubicles, personal warm-up areas with attempt bores. The Russians have invested a lot of money into the design of the warm-up room and the facilities for the athletes. Behind each of those little warm-up booths, there's a rest room, a personal rest room, to get ready once they arrive here and they weigh in, so that they can just relax and be calm. So now Voronescu looking for the outright lead here at 106 kilos.
Good lift.
Well, he started on his personal best and he's achieved it.
Some great technical lifting in the first few lifts of this group. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Confident lifters, and especially with their body weight, you know, sub 55. These guys have got to move at speed. There's definitely explosion when that bar reaches mid-thigh, and a confident catch. Notice not one of these guys are riding the bar in. Everybody's catching hard and fast in that bottom position. You've got to be catching confidently. So for those of you watching back home in CrossFit and new to weightlifting, this isn't about placing the bar overhead. It's about moving dynamically so you can catch it confidently.
So Cristian Luca, representing Romania, now going for 107, just a kilo required to go into the lead. This is second attempt, trying to move from 5th to, at the moment, 1st place, if he picks this up. Well, you felt that was the second attempt, but the 3 white lights are his.
107 kilograms on the bar.
Yeah, very impressive. Yeah, very impressive. Second attempt here, maintains great position off the floor. Good explosion with the legs. The arms stay long throughout. If you pull too early with the arms, the legs won't achieve full extension. He executes that really, really well.
So Akaya has been waiting in the wings. Now this is a big increase. 98 to 107, Michaela. Now that's a big ask.
It's
9 kilos.
A huge ask, absolutely huge at this body weight. Something you would expect of a super heavyweight, not a 55 kilo lifter.
But he's really testing himself. This will be a huge personal best.
Ooh, well, he's strong enough.
Well,
David, is this a prime example?
He's 21, Michaela. I guess that having had the failure and being one of the outsiders in the competition, he thought he'd have a go.
Yeah, you've got nothing to lose, but this, I think, is a prime example of what you were saying, a lifter who has maybe started light. Now, if you look there, he lifts his bum as he comes off the floor. That puts him out of position. So a lifter that's not technically precise is going to be inconsistent on the heavier weights. That might be why he started light, but clearly the frustration says it all there. 104 miss, 107 miss. He finds himself right down the pecking order.
So Daniel Lungu for Moldova. Daniel 4th in the under-23 Europeans. Another very important stepping stone competition, the under-23s, to encourage lifters to stay involved in the sport. He's also in his time picked up a European Junior silver medal. 108 to go into #1 position. Well, so far, only one man has failed his first attempt. Angel Rusev. And Mohammad Sahin is the only man who hasn't started.
Yeah, big throw of the head backwards. That's going to send the shoulders backwards. Swings the bar to compensate, but it worked for him on this occasion. Very explosive, very dynamic.
So 108, the lead with Moldova, but trying to draw level. Dokvadze of Georgia, which would move him up from 4th to silver. Remember, there are discipline medals as well as the overall total medals in the European Championships.
Well, there's that lack of explosion I was talking about. Needs a bit more height on the bar. He's holding the elbow as he comes off as well. There is literally a millimetre of space to get underneath the bar. Watch the replay, you'll see it hardly travels high at all.
Yeah, be interesting to see this from the side actually as well.
Yeah, that's it. There, drops the chest, swings. That's putting a lot of strain on the shoulders and elbows, and he did the right thing letting go early.
So Jansu wants to have a go at 108 kilos. He's down in 5th place, so trying to push himself up into the silver medal position. Still, Mohammad Sahin, by the way, he's posted 109 for his opener. We're at 108, and this is going to be a good lift. Love that. Lots of fire in the belly.
Lots of fire in the legs and the glutes as well. That was an excellent lift. Really, really good sequence. 3 from 3. You cannot be disappointed with that kind of performance on this platform, especially with no atmosphere.
Jansu, 2 kilo personal best. So finally, the bar goes to 109 kilos for the bronze medalist of 2 years ago, Mohammad Sahin. Sahin, who didn't post the heaviest total, 247 was his entered target. 27 years of age, he's the oldest. He is actually the most experienced man on this afternoon's stage in this category. I mentioned it's non-Olympic, but there are still Olympic qualifying points to be earned, so every kilo counts. So this for the outright lead. Shades of Rusev.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the replay here. The position from the floor to just past the knees is where it went wrong for him. We talk about maintaining the angle of the back. He drops his chest, so he lifts the bum, drops the chest. That sends everything onto his toes, and then he compensates by trying to throw the shoulders back at the top. And that just going to cause a huge swing on the bar. Either he'll catch it nicely, or there's a strong chance he'll end up behind like he did there.
So at this moment, it's Daniel Lungu of Moldova who's in the lead with 108, and he's still got 2 attempts to come. Valentin Jansu in silver, but he's used all his 3 attempts. Christian Luka, he's got 107. He's in the bronze medal position. Dimitro Voronovsky, he's posted 109, but just having a look and seeing, in fact, he's gone to 110, I beg your pardon. And that's why Sahin is out for his 2nd attempt, because he's keeping the same weight, 109. Lovely stage, beautiful presentation. 4-meter square Eleiko lifting platform. Top of the class equipment. Much better. Well, like Rusev, he'll be kicking himself to have wasted, and you can see from his hand motion there, his body language, he illustrated exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, body language says I'm annoyed, missed the first one or wasted the first one. That said, he went from a 106 was the weight he posted, so warm-up was going well. And that was a much better execution. And as you just said there, David, only the best equipment for these championships. If anybody's looking for equipment for a home gym, this is the kit to buy. Eleiko all the way.
Yeah, particularly the bars, aren't they? The bar is well favoured, this quality of bar. Has the right level of flex, but
there's no other bar like it.
You think it's the best, do you?
Oh, I wouldn't use anything else, no way.
Well, there's a recommendation. Other bars are available, I should say. Georges Dokvadze, 109 kilos, to try and move up into silver medal position. Third and final attempt. He's gone up a kilo, failed at 108. And that's physically and in reality a setback, because he's now many kilos from the lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a sensible decision there, increasing the weight when he was only just sneaking under the 108. Not great off the floor, totally lacking legs, and that's a sign that a lifter has potentially dropped body weight, and particularly here with the men's 55. This is the lightest category. These guys are small, they're short, they're ripped. Look at them, they're abs. There's not an ounce of fat on any of them, and they've really cut to make this category.
Well, he was trying to equal up his personal best, didn't make it, but here's Voronovsky, only a second attempt, going for the outright lead, a kilo more than Sahin. 110 kilos on the bar. So this is pretty crucial. This could earn him a snatch medal.
Good lift.
Well, that's a good second attempt there.
110 kilograms is our change. Angel Rusev.
And in fact, Voronovsky now in the lead ahead of Sahin. Both of them have got one attempt left.
There's a big fight here when he lands at the bottom. He's fighting, that weight's back on his heels, but he does really well to recover. It's a great lift.
Another man with a 2 kilo personal best. You've got to pat them on the back for this, you know, remembering they've been off the stage, remembering what you said. They've got no encouragement because there's no audience. It was a tough decision that took many hours of discussion about not allowing spectators to come in, but the balance went in favor of the safety, because this virus is an airborne virus, and you know, to control the number of spectators coming into the hall was thought to be, well, so to speak, a bridge too far, a risk too great.
Most of these lifters would just be chuffed to be on a competition platform again, so it's a small price to pay, I think, in the grand scheme of things.
Like all sportsmen, all sports, and women, of course, everyone's been really hungry, haven't they, Michaela, to get back to some sense of normality.
I don't know what normal is anymore, but desperate to get back on a lifting platform, and very hard when competitions keep getting cancelled and you're training so hard for that moment and it just isn't available to you.
That would have been for the lead, but he does have one more go, Daniel Lungu. Lungu, I should say, I beg his pardon. Representing Moldova.
Never to arm's length.
Sorry, we are, of course, Michaela, now at double body weight.
111.
So, Angel Rusev, the bar at 111 kilos.
Подойдет к штанге весом 111 килограммов за Ангелом Русевым.
Just to put this into context, the standard created in October 18, 133 kilos from the snatch, so you can see how far we are behind that. Mind you, that takes into account lifters from all over the world.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's on about there. He pointed to his elbows, David, as he came onto the platform to say, I don't have a good elbow lock. There's absolutely nothing wrong with his elbows.
No, and that was his best attempt. So Angel Rusev, last year's silver medalist, overall that is, goes into the lead with 111 kilos, 3 attempts remaining. Now, this is interesting. Christian Luca, 4 kilo increase for him. This is for 3 out of 3 to go into the silver medal position, because Rusev, all importantly, got there first. Somebody's going to have to take an extra kilo, but it won't be this man.
Hesitated. If you see the replay on this one, there's a delay between extension and dropping underneath the bar, and that is where all the time was wasted. He's capable, he still had it to arm's length, but you saw there he was dropping as the bar was coming down. If he'd have transitioned from extension to dropping that bit quicker, there, too much delay. It wasn't the same as the other 2 lifts. The other lifts were far more confident, and that's a bit of psychological hesitation. What a shame.
Bulgaria, who started strongly in the women's 45 kilos yesterday, leading the way, Angel Rusev, but Voronovski's got 1 attempt. So has Daniel Lungu of Moldova, and Muhammad Sahin also of Turkey. Now, where's this bar going to go? Surely somebody's going to go 112. Yeah, Sahin. So now the poker game, so to speak, because the cards are down. 3rd attempt. This 1 kilo to depose Rusev from the top of the order, but there will still be 2 more attempts after this. So effectively, we've got 4 men going for 3 medals. Rusev leads, Voronovsky of the Ukraine in 2nd. Sahin is in the bronze at the moment, but this would take him to gold, and Lungu of Moldova has got 1 more attempt available. So Sahin takes the lead for Turkey.
The same weight, 112, Dmitry Voronovsky, Ukraine, 3rd attempt.
He's got a strong clean and jerk, this man, so that was pretty important. He's going to definitely get a medal, Sahin. The only thing is we don't know what colour.
Yeah, not the best we've seen technically. Lifts the bum up, drops the chest a long way forward, but somehow manages to swing it back overhead.
So Sahin, right on his personal best at 112. And now, here we go.
Oh.
And it wasn't in the head.
It certainly wasn't in the head. Not even close. It happens, you know, this is, for those watching, these weights are heavy. And when you're a light lifter, any lifter, to be honest, you've got to believe the weight. This isn't just about the physicalities or the technicalities. You've got to be strong mentally as well.
So it's all down to the Moldovan, who's now in 4th place. Sahin in gold, Rusev in silver, a kilo behind. This is 113, so he's going for it. He's going for the gold medal in the snatch and a kilo advantage. But Lungu, who's got a personal best of 110 kilos, so this is 3 kilos above it. He is asking himself a serious question here. This is going to be technically millimetre perfect, and he's really got to fire.
He's got it.
What about that, Michaela? What about that?
Look at that for a gutsy lift, and you can see what it means to him. He's looking up to say thank you very much to the powers that be. But I tell you what, the power there was all in the legs and in the mind. He believed he was capable. Missed the 111, went up regardless. He's now in gold medal position.
Yeah, absolutely right, and a new personal best, and he takes, or earns, I should say, for himself and his country, Moldova, their first gold medal of these 2021 European Championships. The first four athletes are separated by just 3 kilos, so the competition really on for the medals as we now look forward to the second half of the competition, the clean and jerk. But here's the confirmation. You can see there, 8 men, 24 attempts, but for only 8 failures. That's not a bad percentage, Michaela.
No, very good percentage. Lots of white lights on the board. That's what we love to see. And it's that kind of performances that are going to determine the medals.
Back for the clean and jerk after this. Over Gymnastics Palace, named after Russia's most successful rhythmic gymnastics coach, the president of their federation, and a woman decorated with the Olympic Order of Honor back in 2015 by Thomas Bach for her global achievements in the world of women's rhythmic gymnastics. And to boot, married to rather a rich guy, Alisher Usmanov, a billionaire with, I understand, 14 billion in his account or something like that. Never mind, back to reality. And Michaela Mohamed Akaya, only one good attempt coming in here to start the clean and jerks at 120.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 is not good enough on this kind of platform. Let's hope he has a more successful clean and jerk.
Pretty hard first clean.
I can totally relate to that. That's how my first attempts used to be. You can see how much that's taken out of him, though. If he can stand with it, there's a strong chance he's going to jerk it. Clearly, the second part of the lift is more comfortable.
218. Worth just mentioning that Franciszek Polak lifted or clean and jerked 127 in the B group and ended up with a total of 224. So Akaya at the moment, because of those 2 costly failures, only second and only has 218 at the moment. So he could be surpassed by the man in the B group. Well, there are not many people who want 120. And where's he going to go? 125, 130, 140 for Angel Rusev. I mentioned just before we braked that Angel Rusev is the junior European record holder for the clean and jerk at 146 kilos, and the total 256. Set those in Batumi in the European Championships in 2019, and those numbers suggest that if he lifts to the max, he could well be in for improving from silver to gold 2 years later. Dokvadze for Georgia, 124 opener. Gone down a kilo. Good lift, but analyze, Michaela.
Oh, you want me to be honest?
Yes.
Do you well? Okay, so first phase of the lift from the floor past the knees, should be on straight arms. Look at that, bent arms all the way through. And now this is a power jerk. Basically, he's not generating anywhere near as much power as he could. Power jerk, I think we may end up seeing him in a squat jerk as the competition progresses. Not my preferred lift, just technically a little bit rough around the edges, but strong nonetheless.
Yeah, not particularly elegant either. But 124 kilos gives him a total of 229, so he surpasses Franciszek Polak and his B group total of 224 kilos. So early days in the clean and jerk. Now where are we going to go? Bar up to 125 kilos, I would have thought so. Mohamed Sahin. Sahin, who got the silver medal in the first half of the competition. 112 kilos he brings forward to his total, and Sahin going to 130. So a few changes rushing in at the moment now, and it's resulted in Akaya having to come out again for his second attempt at 126. And he's gone to 127. So this is why you're seeing Daniel Lungu. So the clean and jerk gold medalist from the first half now opening up on 127 kilos. So Lungu straight away going for a clean and jerk personal best.
No lift. I fail that for an adjustment on the shoulders. I'll explain that in a second. Let's see what the referees make of it. Well, we don't have to make that decision.
Anyway. Yeah.
So I'm surprised they didn't tell him to put it down after the clean, to be honest. If the referees see an infringement in the rules at any point during the lift, they will press their buzzer. But they didn't all press buzzers, therefore somebody must have missed it. But let's take a look in slow-mo. The rules specify the bar must land on top of the shoulders and stay there. You're not allowed to catch it low, which it is there, and then he pushes it up. The jerk, well, just not enough legs in it, nowhere near enough upward momentum. So clearly we've got a strength issue.
So again, misjudgment maybe. Should have started at 125. Time will tell. Akaya coming out for the same weight, 127. These are what you could describe as early skirmishes.
Oh, steady, steady, steady.
Well, were the feet in line at the time that the buzzer went?
Yeah, he was in line and he was under control. Wasn't under control throughout the lift, but managed to regain it at the end. That was one heck of a fight, considering the 120 was a tough clean. It was a risky jump to 127. Worked hard to stand from the clean, but he found the legs from somewhere. Now watch the fight as he strives to save this jerk. He did a great job here recovering. Not a great position under the bar, hips behind the bar, shoulders and lower back at risk of injury. He demonstrated enough control to get the down signal.
Here's the question, Michaela. Remember, he did that big jump in the snatch from 98 to 107. It didn't work. Was it in his mind to do something to haul himself back into the competition proper, in a sense?
Well, I think he needs to, but right now we've got a man in trouble. That last attempt was nowhere near, so he's going to have to find something here. Needs this lift. That's a better clean.
Indeed. Now, strong overhead. That'll do it.
Well, I thought that was a front squat into the jerk. That was very, very low on the dip. The lower you go, the harder it is to maintain control, but somehow found the legs. That was a really good recovery from a very wobbly first attempt.
240 total. 127 achieved. Just worth mentioning, our friend František Polak of the Czech Republic, because he lifted 127. Now, the rules of the game say he who gets there first has the higher ranking. So at the moment, even in this clean and jerk phase, the man from the B lifter who lifted earlier on is currently leading the clean and jerk.
Yeah, that's right. Strong performance on the clean and jerk. His total has, though, already been surpassed, so he has been overtaken overall. But yeah, really strong jerk from the B group.
Dogvadze, bar going up to 129. Now this is a 5 kilo increase. Boy, these guys are skinny. They don't eat much, do they, Michaela?
Oof. Across all the categories, David, all of the lifters will be cutting weight. Every lifter at this level trains a couple of kilos overweight and drops. In some cases, 5, 6, 7 kilos overweight.
That was hard again. Hips went back, lift was lost.
Yeah, a little dizzy going into the jerk. Don't like that. That's kind of a mix between a power jerk and a squat jerk. He found himself starting to go down. Such a difficult lift to execute. The precision has to be spot on, and I just don't feel it was. Not the cleanest of cleans.
European Championships in first place in this category finish.
You see here he catches pretty much in a parallel position.
261. Second place, Angel Rusev, 256.
Not to be.
Yeah, he was going for a 3 kilo personal best. So once again, was that a little bit too much for the second step?
2 or 3 kilos is about right. It's when lifters at this body weight start taking...
kilos. He's
Yeah,
just gone 5 kilos.
Yeah, but the thing is, David, it's what they're used to, you know, in training, it's what they're used to. We don't know the condition that each lifter is coming into these championships, and clearly it's a weight they feel they can achieve. They wouldn't put it on the bar otherwise. You also don't know, you know, what they have done in training, but in training is kind of irrelevant. It's what you can pull out on a competition platform that matters. 5 kilos is an okay jump. Much more than that, and that starts to be considered a pretty big jump at this body weight.
So he's going to follow himself at the moment because everybody else is 130 and more on their next attempts. Be nice to see 1 or 2 people warming up backstage. I'd like to see Rusev warming up.
Yeah, it's nice to get a glimpse backstage because that gives you an idea of where lifters are at in their warm-up and how preparation is going and how they're looking.
Well, if he does this, it's a good save.
Третья попытка. Вес штанги 129.
For him, this competition is all about personal targets rather than medals, to be realistic. But he certainly needs this.
Whoa, doesn't have the legs.
No.
Well, depending on what time you're watching this, you need some more squats for whatever the next meal is, lunchtime maybe.
Ends up on 229. He posted 240, which was a sort of aspiration, a guide to where he hoped to get to.
Well, he bounced at the bottom, just kept the bar moving. That's an attempt to keep the momentum and to keep the muscle tension. There's nothing worse than hitting the bottom position and relaxing.
So into the 130s now for Muhammad Sahin. First attempt, silver medalist from the first half, bringing 112 kilos forward. Now, the moment the man in the lead is Daniel Lungo, who took the gold in the snatch phase. He's still got 1 attempt left. So this is for the lead in the clean and jerk.
Ooh, let's see what the referees think.
Yeah, what do you think? What do I think?
I would say no lift. I think there was movement in his left arm.
Yeah, and unanimous from the referees.
And the shake of the head, he knows what he's done. Come on. As a lifter, you can feel it. Take a look here at the clean. The hips go squiffy as he stands up. That's risking injury in the back. Nonetheless, that's his way of lifting. But watch his left, definite movement in that left elbow. The right as we're looking at it. So for those of you watching, new to the sport, the bar has to go to arm's length in one continuous movement. Not allowed any flexion at the elbow.
Valeria Kasinova, the central referee, Ariak Alaverdian of Armenia, and Lech Labuda of Poland all agreed on that failed lift. So the bar still at 130 kilos now for Valentin Jansu. First attempt. Playing catch up from the first half by some margin. 5 kilos off the lead at the halfway stage, but
Защита.
gets on the board.
30 kilograms still on the bar. Luca Mariano, Romania.
Gets on the board very convincingly. That was a nice opening lift. Get those nerves, the adrenaline out of the way. Now we can focus on the business end of proceedings. Stands very strong and was nice and dynamic overhead. Do you know what's really impressive so far in these championships? The Romanians are looking very good technically. I often get asked the question, which lifters do I recommend you watch? I'm making a list of names to let people know afterwards, but so far, Romanians are impressing.
Overhead, strong enough. And he was only 4 or 5 kilos off the leaders at the halfway stage, but another man trying to catch up, and 130 kilos, that certainly helps his cause. Goes up into overall third at the moment.
Maintains a lovely open chest all the way through first and second phase of the lift.
Номер 2.
Slightly on the toes as he dips, hence the back leg goes backwards a long way. Ideally, we want a nice even split on the jerk.
So Daniel Lungu leading overall at the moment for Moldova from Valentin Iancu of Romania. Cristian Luca of Romania in third place, and out comes Sahin for his second attempt at 130. He blew the first snatch, he failed the first clean and jerk, and it's getting really tough now, using a lot of energy.
He's in trouble, David. I don't think that's going to count.
Well, I wouldn't give it, would you?
No.
Good lift.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
Hey, we're just the commentators.
2 to 1.
He was lucky there.
Yeah.
Again.
Other jury in the house, is that going to be?
Well, we really need to show this to everybody from the front, but
Yeah. The clean was hard. You know, hard is irrelevant. Hard means nothing. He still stood with it. It's the elbow lock. It was his left arm, our right as we look at it. Are we going to get that angle? Great, we get to see the coaches.
The last referee decision. Second time of Mohamed
been overruled.
Sahin is no lift.
It's been overruled, David.
Жюри приостановило
quite
проведение
right to.
дальнейшее.
130
I mean, I was just thinking he's had more than his fair share of luck if he got away with that.
Yeah, so the referees gave it, we didn't. It's now been overruled. The jury have decided unanimously that that was a no lift. 2 failed lifts now at 130. He's in trouble.
Третья попытка. Вес
Here's
штанги
his
130 килограммов.
Teammate Mohamed Akaya.
Стоп, стоп.
Yukarıda yakala Muhammed, ezdirme. Bas bas.
No lift.
Подъем неудачный.
And once again.
Well, a very good afternoon to all of you across the United Kingdom joining us. We're about halfway through the clean and jerk phase of this men's 55 kilo competition. The opening snatch phase was won by Daniel Lungu of Moldova with 113 kilos. The silver medal went to Mohamed Sahin of Turkey with 112. And Angel Rusev of Bulgaria, the young Bulgarian, third. And we're, as I said, just halfway through this 55 kilo. The first of 10 medal opportunities for the men in this, an Olympic qualifying competition for Tokyo 2020. And this is Mohamed Sahin. 2 failures in the clean and jerk. Last attempt. If he fails this, he does not get a total, and then I'll bring you a little more up to date. just about, Michaela?
Yeah, much better attempt. 2 mistakes has cost him maybe a chance of an overall medal. He's in the lead, he's a silver medalist from the snatch. But for those of you that have just joined us, his first 2 lifts were press outs, only minor, but nonetheless they were both failed, and that was a good recovery.
Yeah, so he goes into overall first place. Michaela Breeze, Commonwealth Games champion, former European medalist, alongside myself, David Goldstrom, for 9 days of European competition. The first time that these men and women have been on a competitive stage face to face in over a year. So Sahin with the overall lead, 242 kilos, the total, ahead of Daniel Lungu of Moldova. And it's the Moldovan now, 131 kilos, failed the first one at 127, then got it at the second attempt, and now 4 kilos more. If he gets this, he goes into overall first place and first in the clean and jerk. His consolation prize, Michaela, the gold medal in the snatch, where he got 113 kilos, a kilo advantage over his nearest pursuer, but not to be in the clean and jerk. And
he needed that lift, didn't he?
Suggested that he was going to be surpassed fairly straightforwardly.
Yeah, I mean, there's lifters still to come, lifters still in the competition. Throws the head back, elbows are very low, needs to be careful he doesn't get an elbow touch on the knees. But the jerk, as he drives the bar overhead, watch him move his hands. This is risky. I use the cue, drive and catch. I don't mean like that, though. I don't want a lifter to take the hands off the bar. That is very risky.
So this is one of 2 men who've yet to start their clean and jerk campaign. This is Dmytro Voronovsky, representing the Ukraine, 4th at the halfway stage, but only 3 kilos off the lead. And this would give him the overall lead in the clean and jerk and overall. Nice and strong. 133 kilos, good. And it takes him right to the top of the table with a total of 243. He's a kilo ahead of Muhammad Sahin, who has finished on 242.
Tremendously strong in the legs, stands with the clean like there's nothing on the bar. The jerk nicely to arm's length, bar over shoulders, shoulders over hips, really nicely on balance. Very good opener.
Christian Luca, second attempt, 134 kilos. 4 kilo increase, lying 5th overall at the moment. So this would take him to 241, putting him into the overall bronze, but the clean and jerk lead.
Ooh, body buckled under the bar.
Not to be from the Junior World European silver medalist of 2 years ago. And interestingly, particularly for those of you who've joined us, the man who's posted the heaviest starting weight for the clean and jerk, Angel Rusev of Bulgaria, a bronze medalist at the halfway stage in the snatch. 140 kilos is the heaviest opening weight posted for the clean and jerk, and he is the European record holder for the clean and jerk, the junior European record holder, I should say, and he's still in the junior ranks for both the clean and jerk and the total. And it could be, Michaela, that everybody else is going to lift, and then he will come into the competition and try and snatch it.
Yeah, potentially, or clean and jerk it, maybe, David. if he comes in at 140 and everybody else has finished, then he'll be following himself. So there's a good reason why lifters in training should make sure they don't have too much rest between sets. I could say the same to 1 or 2 of my my Zoomers, one or 2 of my lifters that have been joining me through lockdown. Some of them like to take a nice little rest, but need to have weightlifting specific fitness. Oh, and here we go. Here's a test of fitness. The clock's clearly ticking.
Yeah. So onto the stage, Valentin Jansu, 135 kilos. never good to have this level of a rush. There is 30 seconds, actually, to be honest, so he's all right.
Now, his coach has probably said, quick, clock's ticking, and then he panicked.
Yeah. So now he needs to just calm a little bit. 5 kilo increase. Nicely done.
Yeah, I think he'll get that. Some movement in his left elbow, but I think he'll be all right.
Подъем засчитан.
The same weight, 135 kilograms.
Takes him up to overall second by my calculation. Indeed it does. He's leading the clean and jerk. Voronovsky of Ukraine, Jansu of Romania, both on 243 kilos.
Dmitry Voronovsky, Ukraine, second attempt.
Перезаявка к штанге весом 136 килограммов. Приглашается номер 3.
Well,
This is really hotting up now, isn't it? Not many lifters
it really
left
is.
in.
Yeah.
Next change.
You've got Voronovsky of the Ukraine with 2 lifts left. You've got Jansu of Romania, 1 lift left. And you've got Angel Rusev of Bulgaria with all 3 at his disposal. And it's going to be Christian Luka, 135 kilos. Now, this is a 5 kilo increase. Now, the significance of this is 135 would, of course, put him into the lead in the clean and jerk. No, it wouldn't. It would put him into second place. My apologies. But it would take him from 5th overall. Just looking at this, 237... 136, yes, it would take him to 243, just go into overall bronze medal position.
Needs to stand. Oh, doesn't have the legs.
No lift.
Подъем неудачный.
Well, pure frustration. That's 2 failed attempts. He took the risk going up. Clearly a weight he felt he was strong enough for. That's frustrating because he had a good series of lifts on the snatch, just 1 failure. Clean and jerk has let him down a little today.
Третья попытка.
Just for those of you who like the comparisons, in 2019 in Batumi in Georgia, by the Georgian seaside, by the Black Sea, Mirko Scarantino of Italy won this particular weight category with a total of 261. At the moment we're at 243, so it's going to be down to Rusev to see how close he can get to Scarantino's total of 2 years ago, but he does have a big clean and jerk. So now Valentin Jansu. Now this is this just a kilo up? No, it's 5 kilos up. Voronovsky, sorry, 4 kilos up, and this would take him to 247. That's pretty good lifting from Voronovsky.
I think there's more there.
38, please. And the guy.
He's now surpassed his entry total by a couple of kilos. Just having a quick look at his personal best. His personal best, 245. So well done to him. Whatever happens from here on in.
Bit short on the extension, doesn't quite get full hip and knee extension.
Ангел Русев готовится.
My friend Pete is watching this. He's got the same issue as you have. Need to get extension at the knees and the hips. Need to get those peaches firing. Need to get full extension. Great overhead though.
Obviously Rusev sticking for the 140, although he could have come down a kilo or 2 if he wanted to, just to get 1 on the board and ensure the total. Remember, he did fail the first snatch. He grabbed it, if you remember, Mikhailo, he really rushed it.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this competition unfolds. I think 1 or 2 of these lifters might just sit tight now and fancy the chance of trying to push for the clean and jerk medals.
He hasn't gone down, but he's appeared. So Rusev 140, which would give him a running total of 251 kilos, first attempt. And if he gets this, the odds are very much in his favor of going on to win the competition. He has a junior European record of 146.
Oh.
Oh, that was easy. That wasn't so good.
Wow, just slightly forwards, but I think he's fine.
Подъем защита.
Yeah, he is.
That was a
That's,
ridiculously easy clean.
yeah, that was like picking up a paperweight. And he goes right into first place in both the clean and jerk and the overall. And now it's down to Voronovsky and Jansu,
Штанги 140.
who both posted 140 and are vying arguably for silver and bronze.
Готовится.
Good lift.
So here we go. The poker cards are down. Valentin Jansu, 5 kilo increase to take him to 248 kilos.
Și dai una, ce a fost aia să tragi din ea?
Very, very impressive.
Yeah, really good lifting there. And when you consider he's just lifted 140 kilos and he weighs under 55, and Jansu has improved his personal best from 134 to 140 kilos. Good
That's
on you.
unbelievable.
Lifter to follow San
Some very, very dynamic, explosive lifting. This
Yeah.
is hotting up now.
And if it was rugby, we'd be giving him a bonus point for 6 out of 6.
There's very few lifters. I think that's the only lifter so far in these championships.
No, Sandra
You're right.
Jensen got 6 out of
Yes,
6
correct.
yesterday. Right, Voronovsky. And again, not in the head, and Voronovsky is left on 247 kilos.
143
And so the man who was the silver medalist 2 years ago, in the absence of Scarantino, is not defending this title. Rusev is the champion of 55 kilos. He has 2 attempts left, and of course he doesn't have to take them, but we want him to, don't we, Michaela?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
to see what he can do.
David, he's going 147, and this is going to be, go on, I'll let you share the news, an attempt at new junior world
Well,
record, isn't it?
147, yeah, junior European clean and jerk record.
Две штанги.
And of course, the extra 7 kilos would mean it's a junior European total as well. So 6 kilo increase. Well, the way he picked up the first one, would I have any doubts?
I'm not doubting. Clearly impressive on that opening lift.
Only 19 years of age.
Oh, what on earth was that?
No lift.
Неудачный подъем.
I'm sorry, that was... do you know what, I'm speechless. That first attempt absolutely flew. He's all right, he'll be all right. I think he just totally mistimed it.
What he did, it was a
All over the
technical,
shot. Let's have a look.
technical mess.
Is there
Have a look
any,
at
is there
this.
any reason? Let's have a look.
Вес
Did he hit the
штанги
knee?
147 килограммов.
Well,
Третья
it's a lifter
попытка.
trying to rip the bar up with his upper body.
Oh, is he not? Oh, surely he's going to have one more go. Can't believe he's not going to have a go at the record.
Either that or he's had a feel of the weight and thought, not today.
Прошлогоднего чемпионата Европы.
Well, surely the coaches, you know, the coaches get bonuses. I know your coach never got a bonus, Michaela.
6 килограммов в субботу.
He's coming again. Here we go. More business like this time. On a mission.
Yeah. No mucking about, no mistakes. You know, he's done this weight, so he knows what it's all about. So this for 2 junior European records. Clean is fine.
It's there.
257.
Fantastic lifting.
Junior European total, clean and jerk total at junior level. Angel Rusev gets the shinier medal 2 years later, silver medalist 2 years ago, the champion of 55 kilos in 2021. And a comfortable winner at the end by 10 kilos. Rusev over Valentin Jansu, 248, and Dimitri Voronovsky, respectively, of Romania and Ukraine, in silver and bronze overall. And Rusev, Jansu, Voronovsky, the 1, 2, 3 in the clean and jerk. So, another Bulgarian medal. And there's the confirmation. This is the clean and jerk result. You can see the percentage is not so good as they were in the snatch phase here. What is that? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 50% of failures. So we'll bring you the total result. Just to remind you that it was Nadezhda Nguyen and Ivana Petrova yesterday who took 1 and 2, gold and silver in the women's 45-kilo opener. And also to remind you that we have 2 Olympic classes to come for you today. And these are the women's 55-kilo competition and the men's 61-kilo competition. And if I tell you that the spread, that is the number of kilos between the lowest enter total and the largest total in the women's 55 is just 5 kilos. And in the men's 61, the spread is just 8 kilos. It should, Michaela, be a real feast today.
Cannot wait. I love competitions that are that close. It really does keep everybody on the edge of their seats, and it's going to prove to be awesome. We're going to have some great lifting here, and the lifters that are most consistent are the ones that are going to bring back the medals.
So getting ready for the medal ceremony, just waiting for the official full result. Sahin of Turkey, not a really good day at the office for him. He was the bronze medalist 2 years ago, but Sahin with only 3 out of 6, a 50% strike rate, not good enough to win major medals, although he has got a consolation silver from the first half of the competition. Lungu from Moldova, he took the snatch, 113 kilos, but just not the same strength in the clean and jerk. Our next competition, by the way, for those of you across the United Kingdom, 3 o'clock is the start time, and we've got athletes from Norway, Belgium, Armenia, Russia, Ukraine, Italy, Poland, Albania and Turkey involved. And there is the confirmation of the overall championship of Europe for men's 55 kilos. And